Okay, so this is a recorded class for yesterday's class. So look at data cleaning in Pandas, cleaning of data in Pandas. So data cleaning means fixing bad data in your data set. So bad data could be empty cells, data in wrong format, wrong data, duplicates. So those can be bad data in your data set. So and it can cause you having um, inaccurate values in your data set. So we'll be making use of a database that I've sent to the group is data collecting.csv. So the database has been sent to the group. So to load it, you use pd.read underscore csv data cleaning.csv. So in this short code to bring out the database inside the pandas. So we'll be making use of this data set. So looking at this data set, let's take a study of this data set. So some of the records here, we have a little bit challenge on these records. We have so let me execute this. So we have the noun values, some of the rows have empty values. We have some column that the date format is not correct. So you can see that we have some columns, some rows that has the non-values. So we'll be looking at how to fix those values, how to fix those cells. So to check for the non-values, to check how many non-values we have in a column, we make use of the is non. So the is non can choose for calculating the total number of nons inside the table. So if you execute it, you can see for the dates we have one non-values. It means one empty values. For the calories, we have two empty values. So if you look at on the calorie column, you see row 18 and row 22. Okay, row 18 and row 28. So that are for non-values. While for dates, we have just one, which is row 22. So you can see that is the summary of the is null. So the first thing we'll be looking at here is the empty cell, the empty cell, the empty cell. So remove rows. One way to deal with empty cell is to remove rows that contain empty cell. So one of the rows to deal with empty cell is to remove the row that contain the empty cells. So I'm going to create a new variable called new data equals data.drop now. With this short of code, we'll be able to drop the non-values, the non-values. So if you execute this code, execute, and look down and see we don't have any non-values again. So the places you have non-values 18, you can see there's no longer row 18. There's no longer row 22. If I'm not mistaken, there's no longer row 28. So those are the places we have non-values. So to confirm if the non-value have been removed from the data set, you can see that using the same is null, new data.isNull. In this process, you are able to drop the non-values out from the table. So we don't have non-values on the table. So if, what we did now does not affect the database. It only affects the new variable that we just created. The new variable that we just created. But if you want the output, if you want the code to affect the original data set, you make use of drop data dot drop now in place equals true. With this sort of code, it will affect the original data set. So I gave a short note that the drop now open bracket in place true will not return a new data frame, but it will remove all rows containing null values from the original data frame. So if you look at the original data frame, take a look at the original data frame, we still have the non-values. You can see we still have the non-values. But if you run the new data, if you run the new data, see that on the new data there is no values. So those are the different things. But if you want it to affect the original data, you run this. I won't be running this, but you can try that. So if you want it to affect the original data, you use data dot drop now open bracket in place equals true. In this process, it will affect the original data. Take note of that. So move down to removing empty values. Replacing, how to replace empty values. If you want to replace, the one we did before was removing the empty cells. Now we can do how to replace the values. Another way of dealing with empty cell is to insert a new values instead. This way, you do not have to delete the entire row just because of some empty cells. So we can decide to replace with a value. I try to replace those empty cells with values. So using what the fill now method. The fill now method allows us to replace empty cells with a value. Replace no values with number 200. So we're going to replace it with 200. Replace the empty value with 200. So we're going to replace the empty value with 200. So data.fill now open bracket 200 in place equals true. So in this process, we are going to what? To replace anywhere you have empty cell to what? To 200. So I'm going to be using a new variable. Let me use variable a equals. So let's use this. Then print a. Print a. Okay. A is null. Let's run it like this. Let's run it without the a. Let's run it. Print data. So let's look at what we have. Okay, you can see that now that the noun values have been changed to what, to 200. The noun values have been changed to 200. It has been changed to 200. See that the noun values have been changed to 200. So let's move on. Next, replace only for specified columns. Replace only for specified column. So you can replace for only for specified column. So we'll be making use of replacing the non value in calories with 50. Replacing the non value in calories with 50. So I'm going to rerun that code from the beginning. I'm going to rerun from the beginning so I can still have. Let's rerun this from the beginning. Okay, this is it here. So let's rerun. So scroll down. Scroll down this. So you can see you still have the non-values. So rolling it for the non-values. I'm working on only for specified columns. So I'm trying to replace the calories columns with 50, where you have the non-values under the calories columns. So use data square bracket calories equals data square bracket calories dot fill now open bracket 50. This short code will replace the non-values on the calories column. Same thing applies to the date column, same thing applies to the duration, same thing applies to the pause, same thing applies to the box mark. So depending on the rows, the columns you want to work with. If you want to work with date column, you want to replace all the non-values with a particular figure, you want to replace all the non-values with a particular date, you can make use of it, you can make use of this function. So let's execute and see if if you look down here, okay, let's try to rerun this code. Let's rerun this code. Let's rerun this code. I'm going to cut this out. So let's see. So you can see that we have the num values there. There's an empty cell. So we have it on these two rows. So I'm going to paste back the code. Then run. Let's see. So you can see that has changed to 50. It has changed to 50. So it has changed to 50. So next, let's move on to replacing using a mean, median, and mode. So a common way to replace empty cell is to calculate the mean, the median, or the mode values of the column. Pandas use mean, median, mode to calculate respective values for specified column. So calculate the mean and replace any empty values with it. So this is our data. This is our data. This is our data. So let's calculate the mean. Get the mean equals data calorie plus. So we're working with the calories column. There's a code. Then so the mean here is what? The mean here we have here is 2.228.76. So this is the mean. So we're going to use this mean to replace the calories. Let's see. Let's execute this and print. Let's see down. Check. Okay, it has been replaced. 282. 288. Then 288. Thing. Calories. Execute. So the record has been updated. You can see there is no longer the non value. The non value has been replaced with the mean. So you can try that on your own table. You can do for the mean. You can do for the median. You can do for the mode. So I move down to data of wrong format. Data of wrong format. So data of wrong format. Cells with data of wrong format can make it difficult or even impossible to analyze data. To fix it, you have two options: either to remove the row or convert all the cells in the column into the same format. So we have our data here. I'm going to execute this our database. We have our database here. We have some dates that are not corresponding to the date, which is on row 20, 26, our 22 also. 26, we have 26, 12, 2020. So let's look at how to clean it up. Let's look at how to clean it up. I'm going to take this out. Take this out. Take this out. Okay, so see what we're going to do is this data. Okay, so take this out also. Take this out. Try some code here. So okay, so this is what I did. I'll try to replace the row 26 with the correct dates. Making it because we have let's see, we have 26. Okay, so trying to replace it with this date. So I'm trying to replace it to 26 12 um 2020. So we can do it 2020 12 26. Let's say 2020 12 26. Let's see. Then let's run 12 26. Okay, so it's correct. 2020 12 26. So this is how to replace that row. So the next thing, if we want to convert the column to a date type, we make use of this formula. Date equals PD to date, open bracket date. So in this process, we'll convert the column into a date type. You can execute, then print. So you can see that this column has been converted into date type. So these are some of the things did yesterday. So by next week, we'll continue our class by next week. So this is how to convert the date convert it to date column, because the column is not a date type. It's not date time type. So we can check, let's say the last part, we can check data dot types, data dot types, data dot type, data dot type, print. So print data dot type shows us the data types. Print data dot types shows us that I can see the date column now has been changed to date type. So to confirm that, you use data dot type. Use data dot type. Print data dot type.